Joining me now is Florida Congresswoman Maria Salazar, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congresswoman, thanks very much for being here this morning. Michael Waltz went on Laura last night and explained what he knew about this situation. Your reaction to all that took place?
I know Mike Waltz very well. He's a Florida guy. He is an outstanding soldier, and I agree with the president. The CIA uses signal when it's non-classified. Mistakes happen. And those who do not, they can throw the first stone. But Mike Waltz is a very honorable, and he's the right man for the job. So I agree. This is no Benghazi. There are no dead ambassadors. The Houthis operation was successful. We took them out. We obliterated their headquarters. So the Dems just don't have anything, and they need to grab onto something, a tiny mistake with no consequences, in order to create a havoc, because they don't have anything else to say.
Yeah. Well, look, we're all watching a world on fire, two wars. You've got Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem flying to El Salvador today to visit that maximum security prison, which is holding hundreds of illegal aliens, all deported by the Trump administration. I know you've been speaking with Kristi Noem about this trip. I am interested in hearing what she has to say about it. What can you tell us in terms of what you're expecting out of this?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I have been talking to the secretary, but I've also spoken to the president of El Salvador. And I just want to tell you that Bukele is the #1 ally. That jail where those 300 Tren de Aragua people were sent to it's state of the art. And Bukele has told me personally, remember, I was a war correspondent. I lived in El Salvador. I know the country very well. They love the Americans. They're going to welcome Kristi Noem like royalty. And the jail, the SICOT, no internet, no family visits, 1 hour a day sunlight. And everyone is together. Yeah, because you know why, Bukele? And he explained it to me directly, because if you were to give them cell phones and internet, then they can direct their criminal activities from jail. And Bukele stopped the gang violence in the country. It's the most secure country in the world. And I was talking to him, and I want to share with you the info that he was trying to see how he could be closer to the Trump administration. And I said, help the president solve the problem of Tren de Aragua, because we know that Venezuela did not want to take their nationals. So I said, why don't you take them? You have space in the SICOT, and you know how to handle them.
Yeah.
And it happened. So I am delighted.
Wow.
And the secretary is going to be very welcome.
Well, good for you for being a part of that. But what do you want to say about these judges who have become the new resistance of federal judges who are trying to stop President Trump's agenda, so much so that you had Boasberg the other day telling him to send the flights back. Don't send them to El Salvador. Send those, Tren de Aragua dangerous gang members back to the United States.
Well, I believe, Maria, that we have the best judicial system in the world, and at the end, it will work out. That's why we have a Supreme Court. But I do understand that we cannot be legislating from the bench. That's for us in Congress. So I have utmost respect for the judicial, but at the same time, we know that in Congress, we're going to be investigating those judges. And I think Jim Jordan in the Judiciary Committee is going to start doing that.
Billionaire investor Bridgewater Associates founder, meanwhile, Ray Dalio, met with House Budget Committee Republicans yesterday, talking about his research on the history of debt crises, implications for the growing national debt. Dalio said this after the meeting: unless the budget deficit is cut to about 3% of GDP, that the supply of debt will be much greater than the demand for it, and debt service costs will severely squeeze out the government's ability to spend. Congressman, you know this already, the fact that we have interest cost, which is right now exceeding the amount of money we spend on defense. So what is your plan to get the debt down?
Yeah, and I was there. I met him. Jody Arrington, the head of Ways and Means, Budget Committee, invited us, and he was delightful. He explained it very well. And basically, the takeaway from that meeting was that we cannot have a debt over 6.5 of the GDP. We need to bring that down. And that's why we're going to do reconciliation. The Republicans in Congress understand that we cannot sustain $33 trillion in debt and $2 trillion every year. We need to bring that down and increase our tax base. So we know what we're doing. And I want you to know that have utmost confidence in Mike Johnson, because he is doing a fantastic job. God is helping him, and we are going to deliver to the American people exactly what we promised through reconciliation.
All right.
Yes.
Yep. Congressman, we're going to be watching your work, of course. Great to see you this morning. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Maria.
Maria Salazar joining us. Quick break, and then it is Young Conservatives Week here on Mornings with Maria. My next guest is taking on anti-Semitism on college campuses and helped Trump win over the Jewish voters in the November election. Former GOP national spokesperson Elizabeth Pipko next, right here. You're watching Mornings with Maria live on Fox.